Hello, St. Cattery School. Today's story is The Last Straw, and it's about a camel and all of the things he carries on his back. The Last Straw, Frederick Thury, illustrated by Vlasta van Kampen. Hoshmakaka, the old camel, was asleep in the desert night. He dreamed of all the water in the world and a hump that would hold an entire sea. Hearing voices, Hoshmakaka opened one eye. "Why should I wake up?" he grumbled. The sand whirled up into the moonlit sky. "You have been chosen," the voices whispered. The sand seemed to shift again. "You will carry the gifts to the baby king." "Who are you?" Hoshmakaka wanted to know, for he was an old camel and felt he had earned his sleep. "You will carry frankincense, myrrh, and gold. The wise men have chosen you." Hoshmakaka got up very slowly. "Why me? If these men are so wise, don't they know about my joints, my gout, my sciatica? What did you say I am to carry? How much will it weigh? Besides, I have other commitments. There's a water drinking competition in Rangal. Then I really must go to the cud chewing convention in Bamish." The sand blew furiously, cutting into the black night. Hoshmakaka was startled and decided he had better do as the voices said. Who knew what made the sand move like creatures with great wings? "When do I start?" he asked carefully. "Today." With that, the sand voices disappeared, and it was morning. It was still early as the servants of the wise men placed the precious gifts on to Hoshmakaka's back. The young camels ran to their good friend. They all looked up to him because he was old, and they thought him wise. "You must be a very special camel," they sighed. "I am very special." Hoshmakaka puffed out his chest in pride, and then said something a little foolish. "I am not so old. I'm still as strong as 10 horses, and I have been chosen to carry rich gifts to the new baby king." "Can we come too?" asked the youngest camel, who never wanted to be left behind. "Aren't we your friends?" shouted another. "You can walk beside me," Hoshmakaka replied in his most regal voice, and the long journey began. At noon, a herd of mountain goats came into view. Hoshmakaka thought that they had come a long way from their mountain home in the north. "What is it you want?" Hoshmakaka called out. "We have heard tell of the new king who is to be born. Please take our humble gift with you. It is milk for the king." "You want me to carry milk?" Hoshmakaka sputtered in shock. "I am not a milk-bearing camel. I am not ordinary, like you." The young camels chorused, "No, he is not ordinary." They looked up to him with their big brown eyes. "He is strong. Why, he's as strong as 10 horses." Hoshmakaka muttered to himself, "My joints, my gout, my sciatica." Aloud he said grandly, "Give me your gift." Oh, my pages are sticking. At 1 o'clock he was stopped by a family of millers. "Look," said the youngest camel, "they're carrying bags of ground corn. Do you suppose they're for the new king?" "They will have to carry it themselves," Hoshmakaka replied. They can follow the star like the rest of us. The young camels crowded around Hashmakaka eagerly. But you're so strong. You're as strong as 10 horses. Hashmakaka was weary just looking at the bags. But he said to the millers, "Give me your heavy bags. I'll carry them." At 2 o'clock the next day, the young ladies gave Hashmakaka their fine silks. At least cloth doesn't weigh anything, he thought. At 3 o'clock, an old man in fine clothes gave him 2 rare birds in silver cages. See everything on his back? At 4 o'clock, some merchants gave him pillars of oak that came all the way from Lebanon. At 5 o'clock, a group of bakers gave him their finest sweetmeats and pastries. Oh, that load on his back is getting bigger. At 6 o'clock, the sun finally went down and the crowds melted into the coming night. Hashmakaka gratefully sank into the sand. In the darkness, he didn't have to pretend that he was as strong as 10 horses. Hashmakaka became aware that it didn't seem as dark as usual. He looked up and saw the splendor of the skies and the special brightness of the star he had been following. He fell asleep wondering about the sand voices and the wings he thought he could almost see. But as the sun rose over the desert hills, it was hard to remember the wonder of the star. For the new day brought new pains and new burdens for Hashmakaka. I don't think I will make it. I can't carry anymore. My legs are getting weaker. My gout, my sciatica, my joints. I'm too loaded down. Word of the caravan had spread like sand before a desert wind. People lined the route, holding up their gifts for Hashmakaka to take to the baby king. There were jars full of honey and baskets of money. There were jewels and beads and large rolls of leather. And last, but not least, there were 20 gallons of wine. Hashmakaka moaned to himself, "This will bring me to ruin, this fruit of the vine." But the youngest camel cried out, "Look, there! It's Bethlehem! You've made it, Hashmakaka! You are as strong as 10 horses!" Hashmakaka knew he could just do it if he did not stop until he arrived at the spot beneath the star. He could. He knew he could. Just then, out of the growing darkness, a small voice said, "I have a gift for the baby." Hashmakaka looked down at the tiny child. "Please, child, no more gifts. It has no weight. It is long and light. It is for the king who was born this night." "It's little," the child added. "Too little is too much," Hashmakaka whispered. "Didn't I hear them say you were as strong as 10 horses?" asked the child. "Well, yes, I am. Sort of. Look at his back. But my joints, my gout." Hashmakaka looked into the child's eyes and his heart melted. "Yes, child, give it to me, this smaller than small gift. What harm can it do? It's for his bed. It's all I have," said the child. "No problem at all," said Hashmakaka bravely, if foolishly. All this time, Hashmakaka had kept walking because he knew if he stopped, he could not start again. Now he could see that the star shone down upon a lowly stable. "Child, do it now. Place your straw upon my back as I approach the new king." Hashmakaka entered the stable. My knees are loosening. My legs, they wobble. My back is breaking. Will this last straw cause me to fall? And with that, Hashmakaka fell to his knees. Oh my, he thought. This is no way for a camel to behave. They will say that Hashmakaka, the weak camel, Hashmakaka, the proud camel, should not have traveled this far. The wise men noticed Hashmakaka. Quickly, they too knelt. They are mocking me now, falling on their knees, heads bent over like gnarled old trees. Look what's here. Then, from the humble manger, a tiny hand reached out and touched Hashmakaka. His pain seemed to disappear. He could no longer feel his burden. Hashmakaka whispered to the baby, Hosanna from Hashmakaka. Accept these gifts kindly. They came from far and wide, brought by a beast who once acted blindly. From that time on, there was no burden, great or small, that Hashmakaka would not gladly carry. So poor Hashmakaka, burdened down by all these gifts for baby Jesus. What I would like you to do is I would like you to draw me a picture of what you would give the baby Jesus. And on Monday, when we're back in school, give the picture to your teacher, and she or he will send it to the office, and then I will send back a dress down coupon for you that you can use any day you like. And if you're in Mrs. Crose's class, I have a different sticker treat for you, since you don't really need a dress down coupon. So have a wonderful day, stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you on Monday.